It's kind of crazy to me. This game shouldn't actually have the attention it has now. After the original 2018 release, one would have thought that this game would be dead and gone. But this upcoming re-release as a free-to-play game is about to be big for the gaming market, and especially the modern arena shooter genre. Personally, I'm expecting a pretty huge release for this game when it does go free to play. As of the writing of this script, we don't actually know when that is, but I would guess here within the next month. And right now, it honestly doesn't have a whole lot of competition. Modern Warfare 2 is expected to release later this year, and depending on how that turns out, it may be another alternative for the modern shooter experience, but that's all the way in November. So until then, there's really only this game. And while that's great for this game, one thing about the monetization of this game is that it's going to essentially come down to player retention. Battle passes based on seasons and blueprints and weapon skins are all going to be for people who will maintain their focus on this game and keep playing to grind it out. And I think there are some things that this game is going to need in order for this to be effective. I think there's some issues that have to be addressed in order for this game to be as enjoyable and maintain a healthy player base for the months to come. My name is Tacky, thank you for clicking on this video. Let me know down below what you think about the life of this game and how the launch is going to go. Alright, on to the issue at hand. The biggest hindrance of World War III's growth is the lack of content in general. Now, when it comes to customization and weapon options, that's certainly not the case, but when it comes down to maps and game modes, this game falls incredibly short. In its current state, the game has 4 maps for tactical ops and 3 maps for team deathmatch. We do know that at some point the map Smolensk will be added for tactical ops, likely the open beta or on the full release, something like that, but a huge issue for the game right now is that there are so few maps that the game can get incredibly repetitive. I primarily play tactical ops. Team deathmatch for me is primarily just a warm-up or for background footage you see here just to get kills, but it's not that fun for me. So, when I'm playing tactical ops, I see the same maps over and over and over again. 4 maps just is not enough. Even though Smolensk will be here to change the pace and add a woodland environment, that's still only going to leave 5 maps for this game mode. And if you're playing more than like 4 hours a week, this is going to get boring very fast and is going to completely rid the players of the desire to invest in something like the Battle Pass or boosters because they're just going to be tired of seeing the same things over and over and over again. An extra skin likely won't change this at all. Now, we do know about a few maps in the future here, the DMZ, Tokyo, Dunhuang, and I can't remember the others that I've seen, but I have seen several names. These names were on servers in the previous build. So they are there, the initial construction is there, and we are looking forward to those things. But when? We have no idea. They've had all this time to prepare the game. I would assume that these maps are near completed. I don't know for sure, but when you've got all that time, someone's got to be working on map design, right? Someone's got to be working on map optimizations. You would think that these maps are basically done and they're just withholding them for the other seasons. I don't know for sure, obviously. I don't have behind the scenes and I'm really not a game development guy. I just take a look at the market. The gist of this is that 4 maps is just not all that much. But on to the other half of the content problem, the game modes. Like I said, I'm more of a fan of TAC Ops. It's an objective-based mode where what you do has a purpose, and you don't have to be the best gunfighter in order to be good at the mode. Team Deathmatch is the only other mode, and that's just basically run around in a circular map style and get as many kills as you can super fast. It can be fun because the gunplay in this game is so fun, but these two together just get old. Team Deathmatches, man, TAC Ops can take upwards to 30 minutes just to complete the game mode. It's a long game that can drag on and on and on. So, couple this with the lack of maps in the game and you're in dangerous territory of becoming a snooze fest for everyone to the point where the Battle Pass just becomes irrelevant because everybody's tired of looking at the same game. And it's really a bummer that there isn't more, especially more game modes, but honestly, I kind of get it. If you're the Farm 51, you're about to re-release, you have no idea how many players to expect, so you have to make the decision of what game modes you want, because you don't want to separate the player base too much. That's sort of what they had last time, and that's obviously something they don't want to repeat. And this is a problem in general with indie studios. If you create too many options in regards to game modes, then you spread the player base too thin to the point that nobody can get into a full map. Same thing happens when you've got a server browser. If people see that there are no servers that they want to play, or maybe the player base isn't there, they'll just hop off the game and the cycle continues. So again, I understand why there are so few options when it comes to game modes. But on the other hand, as a free-to-play title with great gunplay, you've got to know there are going to be loads more gamers swarming to this game upon the free release. I mean, it's free-to-play, and as a free-to-play title, it's absolutely incredible. And to go along with this, currently the game is in closed beta. This is the time to test things out and make sure things are viable in the game. Because once the game releases, you're going to have loads of new players in, and if a game mode is broken upon release, you could have swaths of people leave because they think that maybe you're incompetent or that the game itself is broken. But right now, it is what it is. So here's what I think the game needs. The gunplay of this game is something unique and offers a lot of versatility when it comes to new game modes. It's a little bit more hardcore than, let's say, Call of Duty, but not quite Insurgency Sandstorm level of hardcore. Not only that, but the movement of this game is fairly fluid and quick, which is needed for more competitive style game modes. What I would absolutely love to see is a unique 5 vs 5 vs 5 vs 5. 4 squads, 5 members per squad, with objectives on the map that need finished. It's unfortunate that it failed, but the game 9 to 5 does a really cool thing with this. The players load into the map with several different squads and attempt to complete objectives before the other squads, and then they move on to the next round. I think with the maps in this game right now and the mechanics that are in it, that would be an absolute hit. It would be a very unique way to pull gamers in, especially those competitive, intense gamers and streamers. This is sort of what the old Recon style game mode was back before they pulled the game from the Steam store. That mode was just more of a battle royale flavor. But I think if they make this a squatted free-for-all style game mode, that would be incredible for this game. To be able to choose your loadout and offer the intensity and need for awareness in every direction would be a load of fun and add just a really unique selling point for this game. I feel like it wouldn't be quite that extraction style game mode, but it would offer an experience sort of like that, so you wouldn't even have to call it a royale. I don't know, I just think that's a really good idea. Farm, if you want to, consult me with that, just send me an email. And of course, if that's not reasonable, I would love to see a search and destroy style game mode added. Again, the mechanics of this game make it a prime candidate for competitive action, and they have stated previously that esports is something they wanted to transition a little bit more into, so I think that would be perfect. I think the 4 squads of 5 would be another competitive way to do it. Either way, I think this game would benefit from a very intense, sweaty game mode. Along with those two, I think a game mode of pure infantry would be fantastic. Transport vehicles would be fine, but I think tanks and AFVs and IFVs have got to go. I think that's really what the player base wants at this point, even though once you get the hang of it, vehicles really are not that hard to take down. But in most games, I prefer the domination style game mode over the team deathmatch mode because at least it gives you a direction to go. It establishes more of a front instead of just running around in circles. I think that would really be a hit with a lot of people. Now, personally, I think these game modes and other maps need to be implemented ASAP. They've got a few months to do that depending on when this open beta comes, as that hasn't been announced just yet, but still, it would be best to test all these things first instead of release them into a large-scale mess where everybody can bash you for releasing trashy, unfinished product. What do you guys think though? What other game mode would you guys like to see? With the maps being real-world locations, where would you want another map? Let me know down below. I love this game. I hope it can bring in a healthy player base while not boring people to death and limiting the game's overall potential. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a great day, and until the next one, be bold, be courageous, stay tactical.